keen carp angler. Oh, I know everybody probably says the same, but I'd have to say Terry Earn, Oz Holness, definitely. I do look up to Oz a lot, and probably my mate Chris Gardner, someone a lot of people probably haven't heard of, but very good angler and a very good mate of mine. They're probably the three biggest influences I can think of. Oh, since I was probably about 12, I couldn't say for definite, but yeah, I probably made the switch from sort of general pleasure angling to specifically targeting carp when I was about 12, so 20 years. Blimey, makes me feel old. Oh, that's a question. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Somewhere I could get a bite. I don't know, it's hard to name a specific venue. My favourite lake ever is Burfield, but I wouldn't go there for, you know, one day left to go carp fishing because I'd probably blank. I'd go somewhere that I could catch something. Not really, not really. Used to be interested in football when I was younger, but sort of grew out of it. Did a bit of skateboarding, BMXing and that in my teens, but yeah, now it's just carp fishing really. Catching the Burfield Common, without doubt. Yeah, so scariest moment on the bank. I actually had my tackle stolen. Funny enough, we're at Linear now, and it was on the banks of Hardwick, long time ago. I was 18 at the time, and there was nowhere near the security that there is here now. But that night, I woke up, me and my mate were doubled up, and we were both in it, sharing his two-man bivvy as well, and we woke up to both receivers going, and literally I sort of come round and heard van wheels sort of spinning off from behind us, and went out there and all our tackle was gone. Yeah, that was probably what made it scarier, to be honest, is that the week after, very similar thing happened, and on the front cover it was made the front cover of Carp Talk, and the lads had actually confronted the people that did it, and they had a knife, a machete I think it was, held up to them. So yeah, that made it a bit more scary, thinking that could have been us, probably the same people. Thankfully they don't get those issues here anymore, but yeah, that's definitely my scariest moment on the bank. Size 4 in the thumb to the bend. That's probably my worst fishing related injury. Yeah, I can't really, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anywhere particularly strange or strangest thing. Probably makes me sound a bit boring, but it's usually just, yeah, general stuff. I can't think of anything specific off the top of my head there for that one. Best three anglers I've ever fished with. Number one would have to be Darryl Peck. Like, you know, incredible angler. Probably, in my opinion, probably the best about at the minute. Oz Holness again, like I mentioned before. You know, I look up to Oz a lot, and I've learnt a lot from Oz. And it was Oz's stories about Burfield, etc., that ultimately made me want to go there. And then again, my mate Chris Gardner, who I met at Burfield, he was an angler who I'd read bits of his writing, although he's very underground, I'd read bits of his writing and that before going to Burfield, and he's a few years older than me, and again, someone I've learnt a lot from and do look up to. Stove. Bait, can I not mention?
Bucket hat?
Oh, yeah. I'd never go fishing without my hat. To be honest, in the winter I do wear a beanie or a woolly hat, shall we say. But yeah, stove, tea kit, Is that three things? What else would I not go fishing without? Oh, mozzie mesh. In the summer, it's an essential. See so many people moaning about mozzies and trying one thing or another, but you can't beat a mozzie mesh. From April to September, I wouldn't go fishing without it. Oh, any fishing regrets? Yeah, my biggest regret really is not getting a ticket. There's a lake in the Cotswolds with a fish called the croc, a fish I dearly love to catch. It's still alive today, very old carp, and it was the lake I was going to go to after I caught the baby black, and I could have brought a ticket, and I sort of put it off, and then lockdown came in. Everywhere went mad because of COVID, and basically it used to be it was a club ticket that you could just go and get, and now they've changed it. It's sort of closed doors. The chances of getting a ticket are slim to none. Yeah, I wish I'd have bought that ticket when I could have done. Favourite bits about carp fishing? Catching carp. No, I just love being out there. I just love, I love everything about carp fishing, the thrill of the chase. Yeah, I just love being outdoors, the people you meet from all walks of life. Yeah, I love everything about fishing really, But generally, I just love being outdoors. Least favourite bits about carp fishing? Oh, that's a tough question. Least favourite bits about carp fishing? Mozzies in the summer and cold nights in the winter. Coffee, definitely. Oh, chocolate hobnobs. Indian. Oh, past, definitely Mary. Can I say present as well? And present would have to be the croc. But unfortunately I can't get a ticket, so. Well, one that sort of springs to mind, although it wasn't funny at the time and it wasn't funny to me, but a lot of other people will probably find it funny, was the time that I waited all evening on Burfield the one night for the wind to die down to cast my rods out. I was fishing quite long, and obviously the less the wind was blowing, the easier it was going to be. It was sort of June time, end of June, so obviously it doesn't get dark till about 10 o'clock, well gone 10, so I'd waited till about 10 to get the rods out. And yeah, first cast I managed to crack off, lost the tip of my rod came off at the same time, went about 30 yards out in the lake, and it literally just stood there like the sword of Excalibur, just the tip poking out for about 30 seconds, and then it just slowly sank, followed by like a trail of bubbles. And there and then I literally just stripped off, swam out to get it, not realising it was about 12 foot deep where this rod sank, and I sort of had to tread water above it, dive down and like feel around with my feet until I eventually managed to get the rod tip in between my toes and sort of pull it up, and then I had to swim to the surface, swam back to the bank, soaking wet. The clothes, I was in the waders casting out, and I didn't even think, I just stripped down in the water, so I was absolutely soaked, no rods out. I ended up chucking the kit back in the van and going and sitting with my mate on another lake. So yeah, I didn't find it funny at the time, but I'm sure other people will.